It's a new Blender tutorial. Not really a tutorial, but a workflow. Let me just go back. So open up Blender. First thing I'm gonna do is delete everything. I do that every time. Um, yeah. I never saved the settings. I don't know why. I always do this. It's like routine for me to click this, go to cavity, both, because I like the way it looks. It's better for your eyes. Statistics, you always need that. You want to see how much vertices, edges, faces, triangles, objects you have in the scene. See how much you're working with. Um, Hardest part, I swear, is just thinking about what you want to make and what you think is gonna do well to consumers or whoever you want to impress. Um, so I'm gonna do something easy right here. I don't recommend you doing easy stuff like this because it's just not like competitive in a way. But hey, you do what you're gonna do. So jewel craft, like I said, if you don't have jewel craft, unsubscribe. Now let me stop. But no, you definitely need jewel craft though. If you want to do everything by hand, if you don't know how to make diamonds, you should learn how to make diamonds and make your own. I recommend that actually, because you could modify how many vertices your diamonds have. The jewel craft default diamonds come with a lot of faces, and it's kind of hard to import into any type of game. So keep that in mind. So what I'm gonna make? I'll show you how to make something simple. I'm gonna just grab a diamond off of here. I'll grab a round diamond, everyone's favorite. Um, I click the dot key, period key, on the left side of my right side of my keyboard. Sorry, um, to like zoom in to the object. So while having an object selected, if you want to like zoom into the object, you press that like dot key. See that other dot key in the middle of the keyboard, the usual period key, I should say, does this. We don't want that. So on the other side, the quick hotkeys, you click that. So yeah, I'm just freestyle something. So yeah. I should go live because like I'll be wanting to talk to people and whatnot while I work. So what I did here, I just went in the edit mode, tabbed while having the object selected. I went, then I made a loop cut in this like loop, in this like edge to edge, vertex to vertex. I made a loop cut going all the way around. Control R. Let's do that again so you guys can know. You know this is not a tutorial, but look, Control R. Bow. Made that loop cut. Loop cuts are your best friend when you're modeling jewelry. I learned that it's like you can definitely do a lot with. Say this wasn't a diamond and you want to make like an indent, or you could do that. But I'm doing this so I can kind of do a faster way of modeling the base, where I add the prongs and the thing I should say that holds the diamond. I never really understand. I never know what the name is, but I just know that it is something. So while I have the loop cut selected, I'll do P to you know remove that selection. I scale it a little bit so I can see it. If you want to look at it better, you could go to 7, which is looking top orthographic view, and you can see that it made a perfect circle based on the already circular diamond. That's why I did it instead of just adding a circle. Because if you have a different object that's like a triangle, then you can do the same thing for that, and instead of you actually having to make the triangle or the shape, polygon, whatever shape, you can just add a loop cut. Hopefully it goes all the way around depending on how good your topology is, and you can just work with that. So top view, I see that. um since it's already a mesh and not a curve, I can start extruding. So I'll just extrude, I say EZ to go down. As you can see, it's invisible. That just means that the faces are flipped. To counteract that, I will click A Alt N, flip the faces. Now I'll click this top, and then I'll hold Alt and click the edge, which is the line, so I can select the whole thing. And then I'll model something. I'll say I'll E to extrude, and then I'll scale it inward a little bit. As you can see, like a face is messed up right there. You always want to make sure you fix those, because I'll click recalculate outside. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but you always want to make sure you fix your faces. So Alt Z, so I can see the extrude that I did. I'll click this edge right here, click Alt, click it again, and I'm gonna extrude down, so E Z. After I extruded in, I scaled it. I scaled the extrude and not just extruded, and tried to move it on the axis. I extruded, then I clicked S to scale the extrude. That's important. Wow, I'm really a teacher. That's crazy. Wow. Alright, so after I scaled the extrude, I made like this ring kind of thing. So Alt Z, or you click Alt, or no, sorry, Z to go into whatever shading viewport you want to go into. But I click Alt Z to get out of X-ray mode. And then at the bottom you can see that the faces are, it's no face, so that's bad. You always want a face. And as you can see, it's not fitting with the diamond perfectly, so we let's scale this out a little bit to give it like a you know, whatever you call that. And we're gonna scale this diamond a little bit, and cool. So we have, yeah, it's kind of fitting in, yeah, I guess, yeah. Let me scale out a little bigger. Cool. Now so I already have this selected. If you didn't have it selected, same thing, Alt and click the edge instead of clicking just this, because if you click the vertex, it'll do some weird stuff. So just keep doing it till you get it. Now that I have it like this, depends on what I want to do right now. I'm gonna say let's close it off. So we'll click this edge all the way around, and we'll do the same thing for this right here. And since they all have the same amount of vertices going all the way around, we can do a trick, and it's called edge. Yeah, bridge edge loops. Yep. Boom. So now it automatically did the automatically filled in a face for each edge loop. Usually you just have to do the manual way and keep making a face. To make a face, by the way, and I learned this when I started modeling clothing, was clicking all 4 faces and clicking F, and that's to make one face. So yeah, why do that when we can just edge bridge loop? Now I'm gonna click 3, and then I'm going to Alt and click all the faces. When I do this, I can pretty much now extrude Z, and I can do that. Usually a diamond has like 2 rings, kind of, to hold the diamond in place, followed by prongs. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let's see, let's make it a little bit bigger. Cool. Now I'm just going to Shift D, and then while I have Shift D, I'll click Z to drag it, and then I'll scale it. If this doesn't look right, then I'll just create an edge loop around this diamond and scale it and do it like that. But it looks pretty fun. I mean, this is kind of how it goes. Clicking this, and I'm clicking shade smooth, or shade auto smooth, because I don't like seeing those lines or whatever. This is more of an easier way. I know it's not like completely like verbatim on the image, because it usually doesn't look like this, but it's alright. It still works, you know. It's with however you want to make it. We're not making uh, printable, ready jewelry, because if we was, then we would have to follow everything to a T. Right now, we're just making jewelry for games. So, however you want to make the back ends look, it's up to you. Alright. I'm gonna go Shift D. I'm gonna scale that in. I should have just used tool, but it's like, I don't know, I want to try something different for the back ends, but forget that. Never mind. Let's just go to the basics. While we have this selected, GZ, we'll drag it all the way down. I'm doing this with no reference, so I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it because why not? Let's click 2, and we'll click the edge loop. Nope, not that one. This one, exactly. ES to scale it in. As you can see, the face is flipped, and you'll know over time just by doing this so much. So ES, 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 and I'm just doing this just to like get that like flat surface feeling, whatever you want to call it. I right clicked and I clicked A to select all, and I'm going to Alt N and recalculate back outside. That way I have the diamond fitting perfectly inside of that the backing to the prongs, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. Now I know that I don't have to have this face like that, but if you're an experienced jewel maker, just bear with me. This is just something easy so people can, you know, follow along. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. Sorry, let me go here. Let me select this, sorry, and let me EZ to extrude down to whatever the length is of, you know, the I just clicked 1 on the right side of the keyboard just to line it up how I want to. Yep. Boom. I'll bring it a little up more, and I'll click F to fill that in. Even though this really doesn't matter, but I just did that for my own mental health. Let me click these lines right here, and then let me extrude in. So ES. As you can see, the faces, some faces are coming in regular and some faces are coming in irregular, so you have to kind of flip those faces. So right now I'm just extruding and then clicking S to scale it, and then for the last part I'm gonna click M and merge at center. Once I have that done, I'm gonna select everything and Alt N, recalculate that back outside to get everything how I want it. And as you can see, when we made that face and we extrude it, instead of just extruding it from, well, you guys will understand when you start meshing more, but it kind of made like this line effect here, which is nice. It gives it like a bevel kind of effect. What should I do now? Usually prongs have like for the circular diamonds, usually like 4 of them, so each side is 1 right here, 1 right here, 1 right there, and 1 right there, so on X's and Y's. So to do that, we want to add a curve, and when you get good in Blender, you'll be able to like move around and you'll understand how to like mesh 3D. It doesn't make sense now, but when you start meshing, you'll be like, wow, you start understanding how to do things 3D. So and right now I'm using no mouse. It's straight keypad on the laptop because my mouse, little kids broke it. Yeah, crazy. So let's add a curve. not a circle. Let's add a Bezier curve. Bezier, or whatever you want to call it. Let's go into top view. As you can see, this is how our curve looks. Alt Z to go into the X-ray mode. And this is how a curve looks. So let's model the curve to fit the, let's say, diamond. And if you watch my previous video and you seen how I made a you see how I made a Cuban, you can pretty much make your own like tennis type chain with that method and applying it to where we're making here. So we're gonna go into edit mode and select one of the ends. And you can hear my phone going off because people love to call me and troll me. So GX, and what we're doing, so I did GZ to bring it to the bottom of this, so it was up here and I brought it down here. So I'm just modeling. Let's go to 1, and I want to bring this end to this kind of edge right here because it's going to be connecting to this, right? And I want to grab this end and I want to drag this over to this end. And you can see it looks so weird, so let's rotate it on the y-axis to kind of scale that down to, I don't know why I have this so like elongated or whatever you call it. So RY after I scaled it, and we're gonna drag that on the x-axis to connect here, and let's just rotate that Y. And like I said, this is not really a tutorial. Like I said, if you really want to learn, I'm gonna have classes for people who really want to learn. This is just something, if you already know Blender and you're like, oh, that's a cool little method, so I'm scaling this down too. And I want to subdivide this, and I want to drag this over onto the X, and I'll rotate on the Y. Like I said, I'm doing this all based off of no reference. If I had a reference, I'll do it to the reference. But right now, I'm just, sometimes I like to just do whatever. Jewelry is how you want to make it. Anything is how you want to make it, to be honest. So, GX, let's kind of bring this inside of the mesh and bring this a little further out from the mesh. I want to start doing a lot more YouTube videos. I actually like doing these type of videos, but also I want to go live because I rather like interact with people live, because I don't like feeling like a robot. And a lot of creators and content creators and they don't really connect with the fans. I'm trying to connect with all the supporters, and not really fans, but people who really rock with me. So yeah, there we go. Boom. So now we did one side. And if you want to, make it straighter and make it more perfect, you can. But like I said, this is some quick. While you have it selected, I right click to set the origin to geometry. That way when I scale it, I can scale it from the geometry and not from the origin point right there. As you can see, if I scale it like this, I'll be scaling it from here instead of here. So I want to scale it from there, Alright. Alright, so yeah, scale that out like that. I'm scaling it so it can come out at the top, because this is where the setting, it's called like a diamond setting, and I want to set the diamond to the prong, so give it that effect that so I just dragged it up, GZ, so I redo that, GZ. And it's better to do this when you have your object data properties, geometry, and you have some depth to it. That way you can see what you're doing if you're new to it, If you're experienced, then you know what to do. As you can see, this is rotated. So when I went here, I I played with the depth, and then I clicked filled caps to the top of the prong. Um, After meshing faces, I'm starting to learn that a lot of the times stuff is like overlap. So usually, if you add a you convert this to mesh and you add a subdivision modifier. I'm not gonna get into too much details, because the face is not connected, but I'll figure that out over time. Yeah, so scale that like that. Let's drag that over on the X. Let's rotate that on the Y. Drag it back on the X. And let's see, go back in edit mode. Let's click those two and subdivide so I could be in the exact middle of those two, and drag it over on the X. Drag this over on the X and click those two so I can subdivide, pretty much making a handle in the middle of those two. I learned that later on in life, unfortunately. Very handy. And I'll, rotate on the Y. I'll do something like that. Yeah. If you want to make it, bigger, you can. You could get more in detail and smoothen this out to make it look more realistic, but you can also do more to this. But for now, it's just something simple. So I deleted that just so I could just focus on that. I know it's kind of extra work, but I work until I like how the product looks. So once I have that, I want to Control A, apply. That way I can add the scale to it and everything, and also want the origin back into the middle, because when we do the mirror modifier, we want it to be based off of the middle of the origin, or it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day we can still just click the dropper and click this, and then click Y, no, Z, no. So see, sometimes the mirror modifier doesn't work in your favor, so just have to work around it. So I have this, now I want them on these sides, so I'll shift D, and I'll rotate Z 90 degrees. Whoa. Okay, so take the mirror modifier off. I rotate it at 90. Play with this until you are satisfied. As you can see, it has a little bend in it. You could fix that if you want. Like I said, this is just to show you something quick, but still kind of informative, so people know. But if you want to mess with this and make it perfect, you can. It's really up to you. But I'm not gonna go into all of this. But sometimes the OCD does kick in and be like, nah, you gotta fix that. What? Whatever. I'm not even doing nothing with this. So boom. I'll click that. And then I'll mirror modify it again. And I'll click the origin. Wow. So instead of the X, I'll click the Y. So now that we have 4 prong-like, yeah. So this part right here kind of annoys me right now, because I know it's not correct. And I know, let me move this down, because I didn't like how that was poking out right there. So I know this is not really correct. It's usually I think it's one more. Like I said, I'm not going off for a reference. I'm just kind of just winging it, and just giving out something, because why not? I wish somebody would show me this when I first started. Nobody showed me nothing. I lied. Probably one person told me a little bit. Appreciate that person though. So I deleted that. Now that these are all curves, We want to convert these into meshes, so let's add this. Whoa. Okay, so let's right click, convert to geometry. Sorry. Yo, can you tell I had no coffee today? That's crazy. I said convert to geometry. Disregard that step. No edits. So I'm going to convert to mesh. It should automatically apply the mirror modifier. I'm gonna convert to mesh on that, and I'm gonna add these two together. Now earlier when I was rambling and I kept telling you about, these faces up top here. Basically what I was saying was, if I add the subdivision to make it smoother, you see I messed up again. No coffee. It's not gonna show it now, but you'll figure it out that these faces are not connected to the mesh. So like they'll come off of the mesh, but whatever. You'll figure it out, trial and error. If not, hit me up. I'll help you out. But like this is just like something I'm trying to show you guys that you could potentially learn off of. I'm not gonna unwrap and I'm not gonna finesse it anymore. I just want to show you guys like something basic, and you could kind of go off of a reference or like create your own wave to it. So, and if you really want to turn this into like a chain or something, I would just, you know, click A, click J to join it them all. And as you can see, when you're looking at it, and especially when you're looking at it on a chain, it's gonna look like, like a tennis kind of chain. If you want to edit the backings more and add another ring right here, or you can make this smaller and drag this down, make a new one, drag this down and scale that in, and tilt it, or like I said, I keep saying because if you want to do it, how you want to do it. So let's just say I don't want to do it like that, I want to do it like this. So Control J to join it all. Whatever. It's not doing what it did before. It's smoothing it out, but whatever. So we're gonna go to the top view. And like I said, if you want to make it a chain, watch the Cuban video and you'll see how to make it a chain. But it's okay because I'm gonna show you. Let me just take a sip because it's hot. Got that heat on blast. Alright. So let's turn this into like a quick chain. Now usually when you're making a chain, you want to have some connecting piece to connect these together and put them on a chain in some kind of way. Just to be like realistically correct. But you don't have to. So let's add an array modifier. Somebody in the comments was telling me something about add an array modifier. I was like, wow, they just told me something, and I have to apply that next time. I appreciate that. Hopefully you subscribe and you watching me again. That would be very much appreciated. So let's Shift A to add a curve, circle. Same thing with the Cuban. Same rule applies. Like this rule applies for any type of chain you want to make. So put this up to wherever. Check the vertices. Remember, 65,000 is what you could bring into a game. Sometimes you have 65 and it still won't let you bring it in the game. And there's another method that you can bring stuff with more than 65,000 vertices into a game, but it's a lot of like cutting and separating and decimating. But yeah, I'll teach you that in the class. Probably not the next class. Next class is gonna be something for beginners. But I'm gonna have more classes, and I'm just keep uploading. We'll see what happens. The more subscribers and likes and stuff, comments, I may just give out all the sauce. I barely even like to do jewelry anymore. It's kind of boring to me. But yeah. So Mm, what am I? See how I forget? Curve. I'm on it, but I'm like I forgot. I have no book, by the way. There's something wrong with me. You should have a book where you're writing down everything, all the steps. That way, if you ever forget, you could just go back to it. I'm kind of just doing the SpongeBob method with all the file cabinets in my brain right now. It's kind of crazy. So let's scale this down. As you can see, it's like you see them starting to distort. That's because there's not enough. Uh, the Bezier curve, it's not enough like subdivisions, and you can see like if you want to subdivide it more, it'll kind of fix that problem. But we're not gonna do that right now. To fix that problem right here, you can just scale it and make it. Whoa, sorry. Just click the circles, the round diamonds, and scale it. Shift S to they're touching. Like I said, if you really want to make it, realistic, you would just do more in the connections and do more finesse. This is just something simple. Looks kind of looks okay. You'll finesse it to your own way. So let's scale these more. Just cause I want that like nice tennis effect. I'm trying to figure out why is it off? Let's do that again. Whatever, it really doesn't matter. I know why. It's because the origins aren't the same. See that? This origin's here. This origin's here. So if we apply A, it still didn't do what it wanted to do. Whatever. This fixes to it. If you ever have any like problems, please hit me up. I love to answer questions and whatnot. Some people hit me up and it don't be like normal. Like they'll hit me up and be like, I'm like, huh? Hello? Okay, like, what's up? How you doing? They'll just hit me up like, or they'll have some like weird, I don't know. People are crazy. So let's put that into the center and put this into the center. Whoa, let's not do that. Whatever. What I'm trying to do right now, I'm sorry I'm wasting time, is I hate that this is not on the curve right now. And that gives you problems when you want to like manipulate this. But for now, it's no biggie. I guess we'll scale it bigger. That didn't do what I wanted to do, so we're just gonna Control Z. And you see how it's on the circle now? So yeah. You see how I clicked okay, I know what I did wrong. I scaled it before I hit before I changed the origin. So I Control A. Now scale it. That's if you want to just do it correctly and not mess up in the future. So now that we have it all on the line perfectly, we'll just add more and to bring this into game, as you can see, it's too many vertices. You would have to do a lot of decimating and other little tricks and tips. But I'll teach that over time. Because I know eventually I'm going to throw a class and people are just going to leak that class to other people. And it happens. I don't be tripping. Get it how you get it. So now that I have the Bezier curves selected, I'm going to do Control T to tilt it. And I'm going to tilt it inward to give it like that effect. A little bit like that. And I want to grab the front of it. And I want to drag the front down. Same thing with the Cuban. I already made a video on this. Literally, if you've watched the video, you know what to do from now. You do it however you want to do it. It's your chain. You make it how you want to make it. If you want to make these smaller and do more finessing to bring it into a game, go ahead. So let's see, boom, like that. Yeah, like that. If you look at it from all angles, this is where you really want to make sure everything's good. So you want to drag this inward like that. Like I said, anywhere you want. Every chain is different, so there's no perfect way how to make a chain. It's however you made it off the reference or however you make it off your head. If you are able to make unique fire chains from your mind, you're the GOAT. If you go off a reference and finesse it from the reference, you're still a GOAT. But if you can do it off of your mind and make your own unique styles, that's pretty dope. Not gonna lie. So here you go. So like little tennis looking chain. I know I didn't get in depth into anything crazy, but I'm sure those who picked up a little bit of knowledge from this. Like I said, I'm gonna make more videos and try to be consistent. Um, like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate when y'all comment. I look at all the comments, so comment. Even if you like, what is Blender, and you just stumble upon us, just comment. Like, if you made it this far, I don't know how, but I appreciate it though. So, yeah, we made like a little tennis chain. My preference, I don't really like the circular. They have circular backings to tennis chain. I personally like the square ones, and I could show you how to do that. But this was just something simple. It's cool. I mean, if you really wanna, I'll show you guys something real quick. I'll show you the Eevee. Eevee is like a low budget, like viewport. Usually I like to do things in cycles, but let's do it in Eevee. Ambient. Put that to like 45. And right now, what am I doing here? I'll just show you guys so you're not lost. So right now I'm gonna add a scene into my word property. This is where you add your HDRIs. So I'm gonna throw in the HDRI, aka an environment texture, open. And wherever I have my HDRIs, I'll throw that in there like that. So now that I have an HDRI inside of the world properties, color, environment texture, this is how you texture your piece, Like I said, the diamonds already come with a texture, so we don't have to texture that. But if we go into viewport shading, you'll see it. This is like how you do your texture and your baking. So I'll show you real quick. While I have everything selected, I'll go to, well, it's still a modifier, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I'll go to I lost my train of thought. It's crazy because I was thinking of like 6 different things at once. Crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy. So okay. So I'm going to add all the modifiers. Control A, Control A. I'm going to edit mode. Hit A to select all. P, separated by materials. But that's not going to work. So I'm going to separate it by loose parts. And I'm sure that didn't work properly how I want it to work either, because there's too many loose parts. So we're going to undo all of that, right? And let's undo the array and everything. So we're going to, click. We're going to take out all of this. I'm going to just show you guys how to texture, because this is not how I want it to go. Having some technical difficulties right now, because if you really want to texture, usually you want to do it when you have the mesh before you array, because once you array, it's going to be a little difficult. Once you join all the objects together, now the textures kind of get messed up. So before you join objects and you're texturing, you want to texture it first, unless you want to bake it all together. But I recommend you, like I said, at least making a material for each object that you use before joining it, so you can mess with the each object differently. You see how this one object has the same texture? I don't want the diamond to have the same texture as the prong setting thing we call. So let's see. I'll right click edit. I'll click the diamond, click L, click P, and I'll select by selection. And that's like that's how you separate it based on the loose part or whatever you want to call it. So now, as you can see, they both have the same material in the materials tab. They both have the same diamond material. So we're going to take that off of here. We're going to delete that from there. Now we're going to add a new material. And to make metals, it's pretty easy in Blender. Throw the metallic up. Roughness, bring that down. What really carries your textures in Blender is the lighting and the HDRIs. Like, I have a few HDRIs that are pretty good for metals. This one is not really too good for this kind of metal. It's not giving the metal effect. I'll shade it smooth, by the way, so you can really see. It's a cool metal, but it looks a little dull. But like I said, that kind of comes with, you can mess around in here, ambient inclusion, throw your distance up, throw the bloom in for some like extra light effects, screen space reflections, throw that in there. You see how it like switched it up, made it look a little better. So yeah, the diamond doesn't look like the diamond, like a cold diamond right now, because it's not, I'm not really focusing on texturing right now. That's why. I'll keep it real. I'll be honest with y'all. But yeah, so I kind of show you guys how to, finagle your own little metal texture or not. So from there, you kind of do what you want to do. If you have any more questions, like I said, comment, subscribe, like, and I'm gonna help whoever needs help. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I may drop another video of me doing something else, and I may teach y'all more. I got y'all. Right now, I just wanted to put something out there, something quick, easy, simple. As you can see, this isn't too bad. It's like a regular tennis. You're doing better than a lot of people, trust me, if you made it this far. So thank you, everyone. Till next time. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Like, please. Comment, subscribe, like, share. Appreciate that. I tell y'all this though. If this gets, let's say, over 30 likes, I'll do a way more in-depth tutorial. So if you guys can push over 30 likes, which is really nothing, it's 30 people, I'll give you guys a better tutorial. But appreciate y'all. Have a great day, night, evening. Alright, take care.